Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday on my way to the office. Been a long weekend. It's 4 o'clock a.m. It's been a long weekend. It's been a very learning weekend. When you have that much time off and you're used to moving and you're used to running, you spend a lot of time with family. You spend a lot of time with self, and you learn what you can and cannot do. Um, you know, I we just had our daughter. I think she's just now. She was born on the 11th, and so she's just turning 3 weeks old. And when you're getting ready to have a child and you have other children in the home, especially younger ones, people say, "Well, how's that child going to react?" And when you don't know what to do, or you don't know how they're going to react, you just kind of say, "They should be fine." I mean, they're good kids. They're smart. It's just an addition to the family. And what we've been having with Silas lately is anything but completely peace. And he acts out, and he's quick to say no and what he won't do. And mind you, he's 4. He's 4 years old. And the first instinct for me is to want to discipline him when he says no. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll discipline him. Sometimes I'll just look at him. Sometimes I'll say stop. Sometimes, it just depends on how I'm feeling. And Ricky's the same way. But when I hear her discipline him, it reminds me of how I discipline him. And when I discipline him, it reminds her of how she disciplines him. And I had to stop, and I had to say, "Hey, Ricky, do you think we're doing the right thing? Do you think this is really Silas's fault?" I think that's a cop-out to say that a child is unable to adapt to another baby and they're acting out. I think that's an easy way out, and it doesn't lead to an ultimate way to deal with it. Because if you just say, "Well, he's having a hard time adjusting to the child," well, what does that mean? That you allow him to continue acting dysfunctional, you allow him to express himself in a way that may cause harm to either himself, the child, or just disruption or destruction, period. And it doesn't give you an out. It doesn't give you a solution. So when I'd hear her discipline him, I'd say, I think we need to take some responsibility on this. And obviously it leads into a conversation. The conversation kind of goes like this: that if we were a little more tolerant of what it is that he's going through because of how we're reacting, then maybe he wouldn't react so bad. So we were able to take some responsibility back on that and say, yeah, it may be the fact that there's another child in there, so we need to look at ourselves and say, are we treating you different? And what was interesting is I found another way to take responsibility for a situation that otherwise usually ends up getting out of control or could even lead to worse things. The upbringing of a child is going to dictate what type of person they are going into the future, or going into their future. So you want to make sure that you do the right thing by your kids, especially given the fact that, they didn't ask to be here. So I thought that was a real interesting point that we were going through this weekend. I'm not saying it was bad and our house is all chaotic, just saying that it's not going to be always peaceful. And sometimes as the adult and the parent, I have to sit back and I have to assess what my part in this is. Because if I'm a neutral party or if I am a referee sometimes, then I need to make sure that I'm refereeing fair and I'm seeing both sides of it. I love my family dearly. They're the reason why I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're the reason why I'm willing to accept no. I'm willing to accept embarrassment. I'm willing to accept the fight and what it is I have to do to get us to where we got to go. They're the reason why. So it's been a great weekend. Workout session is in effect. I haven't developed another habit that I'd like to do. Mainly staying focused is going to be the biggest thing that I struggle with. Staying focused, making sure that what I put into effect is law. Meaning when I say something needs to happen, it needs to happen. There's no breaking away from that. So It's going to be a short weekend for me and my business, and most businesses that are self-ran. This is considered the midpoint of the year. Third quarter, third quarter, what kind of Christmas you want to have, what kind of what kind of holidays you want to roll into, what kind of vacation you want to plan out for yourself. So it's really grind mode. All right, y'all, peace out. Have a great day, man. Hope everybody enjoyed. Had a lovely weekend. But it's time to go. Peace.